time that this is your test. Cannot be any similar than it. I will post this key tonight for you to have, to look over. The blank copies are on Haiku as well if you want to redo it. I would recommend trying to do it without anything. So, number 6 was 50. And that's because, again, above the mean. All the data above the mean is this tick mark and all above. That's 50%. 7, approximately what percent of the data is within 2 deviations above and below? So I'm going to take my highlighter and go 2 above and 2 below. That's my tick marks in yellow. Well, between means I shade in between them. And when you add all those pieces together, you get 95. Are you getting these right so far?
C.
Whoever has music or whatever it is, please turn it off. Okay. Do you have questions on 6 or 7? Because these are the ones that should be the easiest on your exam. Okay. 8. Now, the mean is right here in the middle, so automatically you should have crossed off A. Okay, now you're down to a 50-50 shot. Well, your deviation, you just subtract 43.2 minus 42, which is going to get you 1.2, which is B. Questions on 8. These ones, again, should be the easiest ones on your test, right here. Okay, number 9. When you do this, what did you guys end up getting? A. It is A, and let me show you. When you end up doing all the calculations, you're going to get to this point where you have to look up where it intersects, and it intersects right here. And that's why we got 26. Because when you round it, it becomes 26. And I think that we only have a couple more. We have 2 more from this chapter. These ones I've asked you a lot, so expect that they're on the test. A, very good.
B.
And then this one
C.
is C, the most accurate. Okay, so I want one that's the most accurate. So, again, you have 3 different companies. 0.5 is the smallest deviation. The smaller, the taller. Small, tall. So because 0.5 is the smallest of all 3 of them, we have 2 hours, 1 hour, and 0.5. That's why Z has to be it, because the smallest deviation will be the tallest. Okay? Questions? All right. This is the last, like I said, review together and study session. This right here is what you need next year if you're taking 098. So I would make sure that we're really focused, because I have ways as well to teach you to work with multiple choice answers on the exam. So please flip to the 098 section. This one has a lot of questions on it. Yes. Of this one? It's right there sticking out of the bin. Okay, it says solve the equation. This should be an easy question. What do I do to both sides first? Divide. Okay, so you ask yourself, if you need to write this down, ask yourself, the 45 is currently multiplying to the x. That means I divide both sides by 45. And what's my final answer? Because I don't have a calculator, which you guys should. Negative 35? Okay, and we're done with that one. There is a question that's simple on the exam. Solve the equation. What would you do first? Again, the goal, maybe put a box around x, is to get everything to the other side. What would you do first? I would subtract the 4. Very good. Which cancels that out. I get negative 40 equals negative 4x. Again, the goal is to get the x alone. It's currently multiplying, so what should I do? Divide. And what is my final answer? Very good. So pretty straightforward. There is some pretty easy solving ones that should be really easy on your test. Now, I kind of just want to talk about this in terms of what you're going to see on this mirrored exam. If you're at a point and a crossroads where you absolutely have no idea how to do the problem, which is the case for some of you and sometimes for me, even if I'm taking a state test, if there is an equal sign in your question, which there is in this one for number 1 on that multiple choice, you can take the answers and plug them in to see which one is correct. If you truly don't know what the answer is or want to check your answers because you have that much time on this test, you could take negative 35, plug it in for x, and see if it's the right answer.
B and C wouldn't be it because that's a negative 66.
You're correct. You're correct. The only answer that would get you the correct one would be A, yes. But I'm just saying that if you come to a crossroads, even on the SAT or whatever test that you take in the future, even if you're taking like a placement test or whatever it is for JJC, whatever the case may be, even for mechanics, I know that you have to take a really easy, like something like number 1 was something that you would see on a mechanics test. Because I actually looked it up. It's basic math. You could take the answer choices and plug them in. Same with number 2 and 3. Anything with an equal sign, you're allowed to do that if you have choices. I'm just trying to help you be good test takers. Okay, but what would you do if you were going to do it mathematically in this situation for 3?
Multiply by 6 first.
Multiply by 6 first, or you can cross multiply if you like to do that, because that cancels, and I'm left with x plus 2, and then equals what number?
6.
And then what's my last step?
Subtract by 2.
Very good. So x is equal to 4, and we're done. Now, again, if you had multiple choice, you could have taken 4 and watch. I'm just going to do this in my head. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Your calculator will shoot out 1 when you plug in 4. Okay, that's how you be good test takers. Same thing for this one. Some of you struggle with these types of problems, and that's okay. Bless you. But you can take every single choice. There's only 3 of them. It's not that much. And you can plug it into x and see if they equal each other. And I'll show you on the actual one how you can do that. So, but let's go ahead and solve for x. You got to get all your variables to one side and all your numbers to the other. What do you guys want to move first? Either way is fine. What would you want to do first?
Plus 2, I guess.
Plus 2 here?
Plus 2x.
Plus 2x. Okay, so let's add 2x to both sides. That's gone. I am left with 4 equals negative 2. And red is the only thing that's changing. And I get negative 2x. Right, Tommy?
Yeah.
I know that you're really good at solving, Tommy, so what would you do next? Because I know that you're...
Me?
Yeah, what would you do? Because I feel like you would be good at this, because you're good at solving.
Add 2.
You would add 2. Are you okay over there? Hanging in there? So then that gets me 6 equals negative 2x. And my last and final step? Divide. Sorry, I ran out of the room. So when I divide, I get x equals what number? Just 3? Negative 3. Careful, on a final or an SAT, you will have both choices at negative and positive. Again, if you had now multiple choice and you were stuck, you could have taken negative 3 and plug it in this side, get an answer. And if it equals this side, you will get the correct answer. That's the best part about equations. Okay, this one. Solve for the equation. What would you do first? Distribute. So negative 8 times x. And negative 8 times a positive 5. Negative 40 equals negative 96. Some of you could have, did anyone have an alternate way that you can do this? Because there is another way you can do it. That might make your life a little easier. So, what is the negative 8 currently doing to this whole group? So, you could have divided at first by negative 8 and kind of already got yourself an easier way to do this problem. You could have done that and you would have gotten the same answer as us. But it's okay. Let's add 40 to both sides. And I get negative 8x equals some number. What is that number? Because I'm not good with simple math.
56.
Negative 56. Is it negative 56?
Yeah.
You're correct.
And then you would divide by negative 8 on both sides and you would...
Is it negative 56?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. You're right. Okay. It is going to be 7 because I got to divide by negative 8.
Negative 7, but then I was like, wait, no.
There you go. And your final answer is 7. Now again, Tommy's confirming right now. If you had multiple choice, you could have taken the 7 and plugged it in right here. Like right now in your calculator, try it. Negative 8 parentheses, 7 plus 5, close parentheses. You should have got negative 96. If you're given multiple choice, whenever there's an equal sign, you don't have to do all this work. You could have just took 7 and plugged it in. That's what I would have done. Because I'm a math person, I understand what the problem's asking. It's actually probably faster for you to plug in your answers than it is for you to solve. But that's just me. If you want to solve for it, go for it. But be good test takers. I'm trying to prep you for things like the SAT where you could just plug in the answers. There's so many of these questions that you could do that. This one, however, you can't because there's no equal sign. If there's no equal sign, you really can't plug it in the calculator when in terms of like plugging in things. So this one's factor. This one was from way back when. If you remember SOAP, way back when. Same, opposite, always positive. This is when we took the cube root of everything in the situation. So what is the cube root of 8?
Isn't it 2?
It is 2. And what's the cube root of x cubed?
4?
X.
Just
Just
X.
X.
Oh, so okay.
But the next one, yes, the cube root of 64 is 4. Those were those magic numbers that we talked about way back when. Now, if you had multiple choice, you probably could cancel one of them out right now because you need to have those first 2 numbers in the beginning. So when you look at the way that you do factoring, when in terms of factoring perfect cubes, you always write out what you got, 2x and 4. The SOAP, same sign. What's the same sign of our original equation or problem? Adding. So adding. Okay, now, this was the trick where you had 2. Square the first one. And again, this is the formula right here. This is from way back when. Yeah, that you're probably doing difference of 2 squares. This is difference of 2 cubes. What is 2x all squared?
4.
4 what?
Square.
4x squared. So if you forgot how to do that, maybe write down what we did. We did 2x all squared. That's how we got that. And that's coming from this formula right here. Same sign, opposite, which is negative. Now all you do is you multiply the 2 magic numbers together. What's 2x times 4?
8X.
8x. So again, if you want to write down how I did that, this is probably the only one that you probably will struggle with if you don't remember how to do it. So make sure you're writing this down. So this is 2x times 4. This one's this is a harder one, but you could eliminate some choices in the beginning. Always positive is a plus sign. And the last one we do is we take the last magic number and we square it. So what is 4 squared?
16.
And that's your final answer. Okay, now, I kind of wanted you guys to understand how easy it could be when you take the final exam. Take a look. Let's look at that one from that packet that I gave you. I think it's at the back. Kind of want to show you. This one, number 12 on that packet I gave you. I definitely maybe take a look at this with me. It's always same sign, SOAP. Same sign, opposite, always positive. Is one of them not that case? Is one of them not the same sign and opposite and then always positive?
B.
B. Goodbye. So now you're down to a 50-50 shot just because of the signs. This is coming from that packet that you have to do. I'm trying to help you be good test takers. If I have the same sign, it has to be positive first. So I know B is gone. Now here, you don't even have to do all the stuff that we just did. All you have to do is take the cube root. What is the cube root? I'm going to just do this one with you. What is the cube root of 27?
3.
And then x, right? Which one of them doesn't have 3x?
C.
C. You already found your answer. So yes, we just did all of that work together. But on the final, you don't have to do that. It's set just like this. Can you eliminate the 2 choices right away so you don't have to remember? Remember, SOAP. Same sign, opposite, always positive. Eliminated C. This one was eliminated B. C was eliminated because the cube root of 27 is 3, and that's going to be my first one. Okay, that's how easy it is to take multiple choice tests. If it was a multiple choice, you'd have to do all of that work that we just worked on. Okay, that's a lot easier than what we just did. All right, flip it. The last page together, guys. You did it. You can give yourself a pat on the back and a high five after we finish this page.
Wow, we have a full class?
Pretty close to it. We're missing Nick. Factor. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 terms. This is when you had to do factor by grouping. Think 4, factor by grouping. So we have to group the first 2, group the second 2. What can I pull out? What's the GCF of x cubed and x squared? How many x's can I take out?
2 of them.
2 of them, very good. So I can take out an x squared. So really that means I'm dividing both of them by x squared. Now I'm just going to set up this next part. What is common between negative x and a positive 4? What do you think I have to take out?
Just once.
Just 1,
Negative 1.
but a negative 1. Because whenever we have a negative in the beginning of our second part, you must pull it out. So I need to pull out a negative 1 here. So I just set up my factor by grouping. What is left inside in purple?
X minus 4.
X minus 4. And what about in green?
X plus 4.
Careful.
X minus.
X minus 4, and here's why. Negative x divided by negative 1 is a positive x. Positive 4 divided by negative 1 is a negative 4. Now look, these are the same. So I'm going to write them out. X minus 4 is pulled out. It's like it's the GCF. And then I'm going to circle or maybe underline, double underline. If you want to underline this piece since you don't have a highlighter. I have x squared minus 1. Now, here's where you need to look at your choices on your test and say, is that what they wanted? Is that the answer? They might try to trick you. But it's not 100% done. Does anyone know what you would have to do in this next step to keep going? Because it's not 100% factored. Not 100% factored completely. Do you see something that we talked about called dots? Difference of 2 squares. So in this situation, see how there's 2 perfect squares? This is called dots. And I'm just going to write this down on top.
Dippin' dots.
Dots. What is the square root of x squared?
X.
And what is the square root of 1?
Just 1.
So now the final answer in red. This is where I think the last question, a lot of you did this for this one. This one's just x plus 1, x minus 1. That's called difference of 2 squares. And I go ahead and I write this down and I'm done. So a lot of you will come to the conclusion that this is your answer and you're 100% right. However, there is one more step, and that's called difference of 2 squares. Now, I kind of just wanted to look at that question that goes with it, which is this one. You can see in your answer choices that you'd have to keep going. There's nothing that says x squared minus 1. So you should know right away, okay, maybe I have to do what Miss Abel just told us, difference of 2 squares, and see if you can do that. Okay? Anyone know an alternate route that you can do that if you don't remember how to do this problem? I think I taught it to you last semester. You want me to show you? Because if you forgot how to factor, you can do these problems, guys. All of them. Even number 12. Even if you didn't remember the soap thing. You can do these problems without even knowing how to factor. No one remembers? In your calculator? In your graphing calculator, if you typed this in to y1, I'm showing you a way to get the right answer in your test, so your phone should be away. Because this is, like, I'm not going to show you this when you're like, hey, I remember you told me there was a way to do it. No, I'm showing you right now. And I'll even show you on the graphing calculator for those that struggle with factoring. Let me get my calculator out. Because you have so much time on the test that you could actually take the time to do what I'm about to show you if my calculator will come up. But you can plot all of these. Put this in Y2. See if it's the same line. Put this in Y3. Put this in Y4. Or just put them in there and see which one it is. So I'll show you an example. I'm going to clear mine out. So if you have a graphing calculator, I highly recommend doing this with me because I'm showing you a way to check your answers, or an alternate way if you don't know how to factor. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side. Let me make this bigger. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to type this in. 3x cubed, 3x cubed plus x squared. Oopsies. Come down. Plus x squared minus something. What is it? I can't see. I'll just do this here. Minus 3x minus 1. Now if I type in A, I'm going to type that in. Here we go. I have, what is this? 5x plus, I know this is super boring, but I'm showing you a way that if you, even on the SAT, if you need to figure out what's equivalent, this is how you do it, an alternate way. I'm typing in x minus 1. I'm just putting in my answer choices, and then x plus 3. Now watch what happens. The first line is blue. The second line is red. So let's see what happens when we do this problem on your final. If it is a problem on your final. Yes? Sure. Why is this not, like, making it bigger? Bigger. Come on. There we go. Okay, I'm going to press graph. Here it comes the blue one. Here comes the red one. Do you see how they're not the same? That's the wrong answer. Cross it off. That's how you can do these problems if you don't remember. You can see here, look. They're not the same line. They're not the same graph. It's over. Okay, so go back to your y equals and maybe try a different one. Come down here and replace it. I think on your, what number is this? I'm just trying to help you out, be good test takers. If you struggled with this problem. Oh, here we go. The other one said 3x plus 1, and then the other ones are the same. Okay, so you really didn't have to change much, just needed to change this to a 3. Everything else is the same, and now watch this. Here comes the blue one, and here comes the red one. That's not the right answer. Okay, so you're able to eliminate some of these answers because of that. So be careful, okay? 3x plus, oh, that's why here. No, let me show you. I missed something. This is supposed to be a plus 1. That was my bad. Come on. So this is what your answer choice really is. This is what I wanted to show you right here. This is number 13 on your test I gave you. Do you see how they became the same line? I'm going to show you again because some of you weren't paying attention. All I'm doing is manipulating the problem. I took what it asked me and put it in answer choice into y equals. Now watch. Here comes the, oh, let me just maybe change something so that I can, hold on. I just wanted to show you. Don't look at this one, don't look at this one, don't look at this one. Don't look at this one. All right, let me show you one more time for those that don't believe me. Here is the blue graph, and here is one of my answer choices. It's the same line. You just found your answer. So I'm showing you ways on the SAT and on the final exam how you can do it without knowing how to do the math. I didn't know math. I just typed it into an electronic device. That's all I did. All right, so I'm just trying to show you alternate ways. Okay, take it or leave it. So again, if you want to make a note of that, you can put all your choices into y equals. For all of these, all of the ones that we are doing right now, you can do what I just showed you. And you can get all of them right because you have that much time on the test. And some of you have not been paying attention to what I just showed you, and you definitely could have aced that exam knowing that skill. Because, again, who remembers how to do this, honestly? Did you know what to do? Maybe half of you did, but not the other half. Same thing here. Did you remember you had to use soap? If you didn't, Y1, Y2, which one's the same? I'm showing you a good alternate way. I'm not showing you how to do it on the test. You need to know this now. So if you need to write it down, you write it down. Same thing. This is what multiplies to negative 24 and adds to negative 5. What two numbers multiply to negative 24 and add to negative 5? Here's a good, oh wait, am I doing, is this the, oh, I'm supposed to be over here. Sorry guys. I'm back. That was my fault. That was going to be the test. I didn't want to do that one. All right. What multiplies to 24 and adds to 10? Sorry, I'm back at that packet. I wanted to show you the multiple choice one so that you understood. What multiplies to 24 and adds to 6 and 4? Okay, so all my answer is going to be is x plus 6 and x plus 4. Oh, that's a 6. And we're done with that one. We're almost there, guys. We only got one more together. 2 more together. Okay, this one probably looks insane to you. You're like, what is going on? But we practice a lot of multi-step equations. You can either solve it all, or you can put them into the graphing calculator, or you can plug in all of your answer choices. What's up? She's not in here right now. She's at lunch. What do you need?
One of my folders in here.
You can come look. You can come look. Okay, what would you do first? They're probably all over there if you're looking for folders. What color is it so I know?
You got for a school program that I'm doing.
Oh, okay. You take a look. Okay, here you would distribute what's negative 12 times 3x.
Negative 36x.
Negative 36x. What's negative 12 times 4?
Negative 40.
Negative 12 times 4. 48. Bring down the 9. We did this together in the past. In green, negative 12 times 1. And then negative 12 times a positive 2x. 24x. Good. Okay, bring down the 9 in black. Do you see that on both sides in black there's a plus 9? Do you see that? That's not always the situation, but in this situation there is, so they're gone. Now this became one of those problems where you have to get all of your variables to one side and all of your numbers to the other. And we already did this, so I'm not going to keep going because I want to give you guys time to work on it in class. So then from that point on, you can refer to number 4. So like I'm just going to put here refer to number 4 once you get to this point, because it's the same exact process. Here, cross multiply. Again, it's an equal sign, so you can do that. So when you do that, I get 4 times 2y minus 2. And in green, it's just going to be equals 7y plus 10. Okay. Now what would you do in this situation? We're almost there, guys. We only got maybe 2 more minutes together. What would you do first? What would be your first instinct?
4 times 2.
Yep, 4 times 2y, which is 8y. Then 4 times negative 2, which is?
Negative 8.
Very good. Now in red, 7 times y is 7y. What's 7 times 10?
70.
70. And now I'm going to put refer to number 4. Because now we're back to the same process. I'm not going to waste your time because that was the only new step. Yep.
Can you scroll back up to 8?
Number 8. Okay, the rest of the time is yours to do those problems. On your practice test that I gave you, try doing the methods I just showed you. See if it's easier for you, because some of you might not remember. If you're studying for this test and you have absolutely no idea how to do it, you need to move on and you need to figure out how to do the remainder of the problems, because you're not going to learn it in 2 days.
All right, thank you.
Yep. So what my suggestion is, for anything with an equal sign, if you don't remember, take negative 6 in the situation and plug it in. Do you get 80? That's how you manipulate these multiple choice tests. Go down to the bottom. Even for number 16 on that practice test, you can take 32 and you can plug it in for y on both sides. If they equal each other, you're golden. So if you really forgot how to do these problems, having multiple choice could be your best friend. Look at how crazy this problem is right here for 15. If you don't remember, you only have 2 options. You can take negative 3 and plug it in, and see if it works. If it doesn't, it's not an answer.
It's
You-
negative 28.
I don't know that. Okay, again, you could just take these answers and you could just plug them in. Whatever you get, you know, that's a lot easier sometimes than doing the math. You guys have advanced calculators. The advanced calculators you can just plug in and go ahead and figure it out. Okay, you have the remainder of the time to work on it. You have tomorrow too. So if you only get like a couple